Warning, if you're easily offended, triggered, or considered a snowflake by your friends, you're listening to the wrong podcast. The views and opinions you're about to hear are raw, unfiltered, and without any regard for political correctness.
I'm offended.
Shut up. Longtime friends Scott, Will, Davey, and Jay dive deep into issues that other podcasts are too scared to talk about.
No topic is off limits.
All opinions are welcome.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Unlike some other popular panel shows, you know what we're talking about. These four friends have no agenda other than to tell it like it is. This is The Big Divide.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Big Divide. I'm your host, Scott Rowe, here out of Chi-Town, baby. Working out of my office. And the reason we're doing evenings now is because people are moving up in the world, like our producer, Tristan. Working with some big-time pros. All right, now, let me just do a quick roll call here. In this show here, The Big Divide, really designed to bring people together from different cultures, talking about stuff, anything. Nothing's off limits, and today's mailbag is going to prove that today. But let me get some chime-ins here off the roll call. Do I have Will Montez on the line? You representing every Hispanic person on the planet tonight?
I'm in the house, young man.
All right,
I'm in the house.
In the house, baby. How about my friend over there on the East Coast, DV, representing all the black folks tonight?
Man, I am here, Scoot, here and present.
All right, dude. And then my Jewish friend representing all the chosen people.
It's a big responsibility, but I am up to the task.
You got your yarmulke on? Do you put your yarmulke on?
Yeah, well, I have it handy. That's all.
It's sitting next to you on the mic, by the mic.
It's right? Within reach.
Okay. Yeah. And I get to represent white. From last week's show.
We're all in trouble now. Yeah.
I'm representing the fall of the white man as per last week's show and DV's comments. So got a lot of good feedback on that one. All right, welcome to The Big Divide. Here's how this thing works. We're going to go through our mailbag first because we like our audience more than we like ourselves. We'll do that first, and then we're going to go into sectioned off rounds depending on how much time we have left. Each person brings a topic, and then we go into speed round, which will be the last thing we cover, which is one of my favorite things. And today, DV has said that he has speed round today. You got speed round, bro?
Man, I got it today, man.
You got it. You got it. Hey, Will, you got speed round ready?
You guys,
Will, you got speed round ready? Will, you got speed round ready?
Is that a racist question?
No, I'm just asking if you got speed round ready.
Speed round next week.
Oh, okay. So black
next
people
week,
over Hispanic people this week.
He's on record. He's on record.
All right, here we go. All right, let's go to the mailbag really quick here and get this thing out rolling. Okay, Sean is trying to catch up to Laura here on the in the mailbag. He's got three things going on. First of all, he wanted to let us know. This is Sean Lilly. Y'all throwing my boy some shade on the prom king thing last week. You can check out last week's show. One thing about DV, he has always been a go-getter, so him working in real estate makes 100% sense. I'm reading it like it's written. All right, so there you go. So now here we go. Now this is a question from Sean Lilly. Why are Democrats pushing so hard for impeachment? They made the country so divided for 4 years. How does this bring unity and good spending of tax dollars? All right, go. Who wants to go first on that one? Speed round on the mailbag. Go.
Hey, Sean, I think you answered your own question. The impeachment is a farce. It's because they fear Mr. Trump and they don't want him to run again. But you know what? He's not going to run anyway. So this is really just vindictiveness. And the tax dollars is because they love controlling and spending our money. So same old, same old.
Yeah, it's going to go nowhere in the Senate, proven by Rand Paul's constitutional vote there. I think it's dead in the water. They know it's not going anywhere. They just are, again, it is divisive, right? They want to bury Trump and his supporters so far down, make them a footnote in history.
Yeah, I just feel, why do these politicians play the games that they play? Because they all want to prove that, hey, they got the bigger sticks. So they're just like Scott said, they're just trying to bury him, his supporters, and keep him from running again. And they all waste our tax money. So that's nothing new. I appreciate you, Sean Lilly. Let them guys know what the real is. So.
And listen, you told us something about Sean Lilly in the beginning of the show, pre-show. What was that? You saw about he was the only white guy in the whole school?
No, I didn't say the whole only white guy. I said he was one of few white people in our school living in our school was in a all white neighborhood, but it was predominantly black. So Sean has got his honorary black card.
Here you go, dude. There you go, Sean. Welcome to the club.
Is that a photo ID? I'm just curious.
That come in the mail.
It's a secret handshake.
Does it have like watermarks? Is it a watermark? Yeah. You have some laser imprints on that thing. Oh, dude. All right. Second question from Sean Lilly, everybody. Here we go. Oh, actually, I think it's a comment. He goes, I'm with Scott. White lives matter, but we should all have equal rights. I agree. Okay, that wasn't really a question, but we do have a question from guess who? Laura. And I appreciate her going. I appreciate her going this route. Here's the question: which Willy Wonka movie was better? The original one, Gene Wilder, or the new one with Johnny Depp? I go Wilder.
I go Gene Wilder because I never saw the one with Johnny Depp.
Even though I have never seen a Willy Wonka movie, I've got to go with Gene Wilder.
You've never seen that, Jay?
No, I've never seen a Willy Wonka movie.
Wow, dude. You got to see the classic Willy Wonka movie.
That was a classic every year as a kid. Willy Wonka.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll put it on the list.
I'll put it on the list. And Gene Wilder Jewish? Like in here?
I love Gene Wilder. I mean, he's great.
You love Gene Wilder and you ain't seen Willy Wonka? Proves that you don't love Gene Wilder.
Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles. I mean, come on.
Genius stuff. And you didn't see... that doesn't drive you to go, dude, I got to see Willy Wonka.
All right, I'll check it out.
Jay, your Jewish card is in question right now, man.
Clearly, I have not been living a fulfilled life.
You haven't. You have not. I'll agree with that. That's something I can agree with. Okay. Yeah, you ain't fulfilled until you see it. All right. Anybody else want to weigh in? We do have one other comment. And our intro to this show says no topics off limits. So I got to go with it, right? We got to go with this. Yes. Here it comes.
I
All
think
right,
so.
Audience, hang on to your seats. Buckle up on this one. Here's a question. This showed up on our Facebook, and this is coming from the Gray Imp. I know who she is. If you check out if you check out our election night podcast, you'll see the Gray Imp arguing COVID. There you go. So you want to know who this girl is? Go check out our election night.
And guys, trust me, you want to check out who she is. Yeah, I want to check her out.
All right, down boy. All right, here we go. Here's the question. This is totally off topic. What is the deal with men and strip clubs? So that's the first question. So I'm gonna say, let's find out who's been to a strip club. How many of you guys have been to a strip club?
I've been to a strip club.
That was the one person I questioned right there. Everybody else I know has been to one.
Are you kidding me?
I was wondering if Jay had been one. So you just answered a question I had in my brain.
Is there a man on the planet that has not been?
Well, I know that Devi, he was in the Navy, so he's probably been to a strip club.
Devi was probably up on the pole. I don't know.
Because the women want to see this. That's right. That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The women want to see this.
I was thinking this just as a she-male.
There you go.
Navy checking out the Chippendales. Is that what you were thinking, Will? Because I'm not saying it. You were saying it. All right, anyway.
For Navy, right?
Y'all know this is all man.
You know what they say about the Navy. Yeah. All right.
What do they say?
Will, you been to a strip club before?
I've been to a strip club. Yes.
Okay. I've been to one.
One.
Sure. Okay. Whatever.
One.
Actually, my bachelor party, one of my bachelor parties in New York, my friend Bobby Park, who was a partaker a weekly, took me to a bunch of his spots, right, all over the city. And probably the best one I've been to was in Miami. Can't remember what I went with, but I think it may have been Bobby again. It might have been, no, it was Bobby Park. It was Bobby Park. I hang out. So he goes from New York down to Miami, and I go down there for work. Willie, remember when we went, were you there? No, you were running the office. I took your crew down to go to Joe Schulman's office. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I do remember.
Yeah, he picks me up in his Porsche. He's like, all right, man, you with me all night? I'm like, I'm with you all night. It was like a Thursday. And sure enough, bro, I rolled into the office just in time for the office.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh my God, crazy night. Okay,
so we're going to answer her question. What is the deal?
Here's the other question. here's the other question.
I mean, no, with the strip club, because I mean, I'm from Atlanta, so I mean, strip clubs is like McDonald's in Atlanta. So Magic
Really?
City and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I was in script. And I said script because that's the true
What does
Atlanta.
that mean exactly? You get a combo pack or you get change back? What?
You get a kid's meal.
Or a Happy Meal.
You get a Happy Meal. Yes, you get a Happy Meal.
Oh, there you go. That's how
there it is.
That was good, dude. That was the one. Happy Meal. Yep.
Sorry, Dee. Go ahead. I couldn't resist.
No, man. So I mean, Magic City, and I mean, there's a number of strip clubs that I was in when I was in high school. So that's been a thing for me.
A thing for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was in Atlanta for 6 months. I didn't see one strip. You say they're like McDonald's. I didn't see one.
No, you weren't talking to the right people. Yeah, you were not talking to the right people. They had to keep you on track with the business. So
you had to go by College Park, Georgia. That's where you had to go.
Just go downtown.
Yeah, Will was down there with me. Okay, and here's the other side of her question. So that was the strip club question, and here's a question coming from the Gray Imp. Does penis size matter? Willie, you're probably an expert.
So
Willie, does penis...
That's a good one.
Willie, does it matter to you?
It doesn't matter to me.
We can that could be taken a couple ways.
Listen, there's no reason for me.
That's for her to answer.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
Who was I talking to? I may have been talking to the Gray Imp on. We were at a buddy's house watching the UFC this weekend on Saturday, and she was there, and she's like, I'm like, why would I know? Look, there's an unwritten rule in a locker room. You don't look down.
Right, yeah.
You don't look down.
You don't look left. You don't look right. And you don't look down.
Exactly. There's no looking down. Right? Like you ain't checking people out the urinals. You ain't going into the shower going, hey, nice. Yeah. I'm sure the girls do that.
Yeah,
right?
they do that.
Wow. She admitted right at the party. She's like, well, we check out each other's boobs. We do that, right? We comment on them. I'm like, oh, don't. It ain't guys doing
that. It ain't happening with guys.
Unless you have put in a mailbag. If somebody's like, yeah, in our high school we did.
I have a question for her. Does size matter to you?
Oh, no. Here we go. She listens every week. So there you go. I'm sure you're going to get something back there. And remember, Davey's the one that said, Gray Imp, you definitely want to see the Gray Imp. So there you go. All right. Hey. Good question.
That's a great one.
Okay, so let's go into the topics now. All right, so here's how Topic Round works. Each one of us is bringing a topic to the show, so we can actually banter it around. There's a certain amount of time left in the show, so that's going to be divided by the producer. And at 1 minute left in the topic round, you're going to hear the dinner bell. And then when the topic round is over and we got to go back to our corners all bloody, you're going to hear the boxing bell. There you go. So that's how it works, so you guys know. All right, who wants to go first with topics? I got one.
I'll grab it. I got something. Okay, this is really rich. Jeff Bezos owns Amazon, the Washington Post, and I don't know, dozens of other companies. Now, through his Washington Post platform, he spent the better part of 2 years editorializing on mail-in voting for the last presidential election, especially in light of the pandemic. And not only did he he claimed it encouraged greater voter participation, but he said that mail-in voting was completely secure and safe. No reason not to do it. Well, workers at an Amazon warehouse in Bessemer, Alabama, are scheduled to vote soon on whether to unionize that shop. Now, the National Labor Relations Board said earlier this month that the vote would take place entirely by mail because of COVID. However, Amazon is seeking to block mail-in votes in the upcoming vote. According to Amazon, and I quote, "We believe the best approach to a valid, fair, and successful election is one that is conducted manually in person. We will continue to insist. It's hard to do this with a straight face. We will continue to insist on measures for a fair election, and we want everyone to vote. So our focus is ensuring that's possible, end quote. Now, I think this is yet another great example of hypocrisy and double standards from these leftist elites. Here you have Amazon, a company clearly run by a leftist who wants to influence elections and control what you see, what you read, what you hear in the news. But when it comes to his money and his power and control, all of a sudden he turns capitalist. Well, I'm calling BS on Jeff Bezos and Amazon. So, guys, I have a new favorite axiom for 2021. Anybody want to hear it?
Of course.
Here it is. Where there's a double standard, there's a hidden agenda. All right, gentlemen, how does this square with you?
I think that they must think we're idiots, right? Like they must. I mean, they float through the world on these freaking elite balloons, looking down at us peasants, and really thinking like, oh, here's what we're gonna do. They're not gonna see it. They're not gonna see us. They're not gonna get it. They just must think we're idiots. Or you're right. They don't even care. They're like, I'm going to do this so because flagrant. I can. It's flagrant.
They don't even try to hide this stuff. That's what's so galling.
They must think we're idiots. That's the idea. They must think that we won't. They must think we'll just applaud them.
I guess.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, or they think we have so much money that we can just do whatever we want to do. I agree, because I even listening to Jay read it, I even had to laugh at that. I'm like, really? Right? You were just on record saying, hey, you support for the election the way people voted, but like you just said, Scott, when it comes to his own money, or Jay said that when it comes to his own money, all of that stuff is out the window. So yeah, it is crazy. It's a double standard.
Yeah, when he's trying to advance his own cause, when he doesn't want union shops, right?
Yeah,
he's like, all right, how do I fight this?
Because it's going to cost him money.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to cost him lots of money, right, to go union. So I mean, I wonder how to I would like to see a union poll, an honest union poll after this election, right? Biden gets up there, he says, you know what, we're going to kill that pipeline and the wall. Union jobs. He killed in the first day. He killed 50,000 union jobs, right? And now you got one of the elites that backed Biden, owns the WAPO, right? Going, yes, you know what? I do not want a union shop. I think mail-in is terrible for this because it's going to hurt me. I would just be very interested in seeing what the average union worker has to say about what happened in the first freaking week.
Well, if you took that poll today, it wouldn't be hard to figure out how they'd weigh in. I mean, they just got brutalized this past week.
Brutalized. It's almost like, hey, thanks for your vote. Now get in the breadline.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Just add it to the list, right? Of the many things that they stand for with their hypocrisy. That's all. It's all double standard for them. The rioting over the summer, the burnings of the buildings, they're not burning buildings there. Oh, no, that's not rioting. Believe what we're telling you. Don't believe your eyes. And they did it with the mail-in votes. They did it with the COVID, the hydroxychloroquine. There was a report today, on Newsmax that Facebook is apologizing that hydroxychloroquine does work. They're reneging on everything that they said. It's a double standard. It's just a joke, right? But they don't think that we're stupid, right? They think their voters are stupid. The people that elected these people in office, which is a minute group, right? They believe the people that live in the liberal cities, that they have them on control. They're robots, right? But for the Trump supporters, it's like, let's impeach Trump to show the Trump supporters, right, a lesson. Teach them a lesson. Then you'll never get a leader like you had before. But for our supporters, we already know that you're dumb and stupid because you support our dumb and stupid policies. That's what it boils down to. All right, so it is a joke.
That being said, I'm sending memes to people like, our liberal friends. I'm like, hey, thanks for the vote. Look what you just did. Hey, thanks for your vote. And you know what they're telling me? What are they telling us? What's our friend telling us, Will?
He ain't saying nothing. Danny has not
yes,
said
he
anything.
Is. He's like, I'm out of politics. I'm done with politics.
He's not saying nothing.
That's it. So we like, hey man, good job. Look what your vote got us. Listen, I'm out of politics. I thought you guys were out of politics too. I'm like, we're feeling policy. Yeah, we're out of politics and now we're dealing with the policy like you should have voted on.
Yeah. It's pathetic. It's really this really is pathetic.
Unfortunately, the policy is all politics. I'm sorry, DV, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And the only thing I just have an issue is what Will was saying is when he says they, I'm not clear on who they are. And then when you talk about the rioting or the protesting, because the protesting was different. It has nothing to do with the politics. So when you
really
calculate,
what are they protesting? A non-political idea?
No. So let's stick with no. I'm talking about when we talking about burning the buildings and when that's what
not
Will's
protesting.
referring
That's
to.
rioting.
Okay.
But
hold on.
Here's
you're relating that to the protesting that was happening over the summer, which stems from the police brutality. So to me, it sounds like you're mixing those all together.
It didn't. That protesting did not stem from police brutality.
Which protesting are we talking about?
What happened.
It's going to take forever.
I got it.
Yeah, the bell rang.
Should I continue or go back to my round?
No. Let's go to our corners. That's a huge topic right there. That's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole different topic. But,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm biting my tongue right now. I gotta say this.
I know you are. All right.
I gotta say it. I just gotta say it. Right?
Good.
I'm going back to the corner. Go. I'm done. Go.
Go. He's doing it. Oh man.
I'm gonna go back to the corner.
I thought we were in trouble. Okay. All right. I got a topic. I'm gonna bring mine up. All right. So I got a clip here. I heard this today. Somebody sent me this. There is legislation. No, there's a proposal by the Illinois Board of Education that is on the desk of the legislators here in Illinois that they're going to vote on in February. And I want you guys to hear this, right? I want to hear this as this is the gist of what we're giving. And I told my wife as soon as I heard this and I sent it to her, I'm like, you got to pick a new state right now. So let's take a listen to this, you guys. This is gonna take you guys off. Even Davey, go.
And you might ask, what happens if a teacher, a bold, brave teacher who's rational, says no? They get their teaching license taken away permanently. They have no opportunity to practice what they love.
So
they can't be in the classroom with students.
Current events.
Current political controversies, not just events, controversies, whatever that means. Admitting that there's unlimited numbers of genders, prioritizing critical race theory, taking their kids to protest for gun control or lobby for things like the Green New Deal. Children
for a left-wing social justice.
And go above and beyond to mitigate their unearned privileges, like being white. Don't ask me how a teacher is supposed to mitigate the identities that they're born with necessarily, but that is legally mandated if you want to teach in the state of Illinois.
That crazy?
That's sick.
That is.
I heard that clip, and that is absolutely frightening. But you know what? That doesn't stand alone. We're hearing things like this from every corner. Just listen to representatives in Congress, AOC. It's the same nonsense. Yeah. It's scary. And you know what, Scott? You've got kids in school in Illinois. Yes. I don't blame you. You cannot send them to school if something like this passes. You can't.
Exactly. And that's the scary part. Like the scary part is now if a teacher wants to keep their job, and let's say every conservative teacher cannot teach what they believe. And to be honest with you, they shouldn't, right? Education should be about writing, arithmetic, right? English. It should be about skills that they're teaching for the betterment of the child. To bring up, and they're saying, look, you've got to talk about political controversy if you want to keep your job. You have got to talk about more than two genders if you want to keep your job. You have got to talk about privilege and if you want to keep your job, right? So I couldn't be a teacher. I'm like, well, I'm going to teach science. How's that? I teach science. Nope. We got to if somebody says there's more than two genders, you got to agree.
Do you know if this is likely to pass in a vote?
I don't know, dude. I have no idea.
It'll pass. This is going to pass. They're already teaching, I'm sorry to say this, right? Sexual orientation when it comes to homosexuals in elementary schools and high schools, it's required. This is sick. They already passed that. And this is sick, Jay. And this is not only sick, this is communism. This is
well. You know what? Before you get railed upon by any from the gay community on this show, please be distinct about what is said.
I was distinct. I got nothing against homosexuality. I don't. But sexual orientation should not be taught to pre-K to 8th graders in that section. I'm sorry. That's for mom and dad to teach their kids, right? A teacher should not teach. Right?
I agree with Will on that.
There should not be an agenda to teach any type of sexuality at all. I'm being direct here. I'm not against homosexuality, Scott. That's not my implying. That's not what I'm implying. And I did not offend anybody. I'm against that.
Here.
I'm against that.
You use the word sick in a way that maybe could have been misconstrued. I'm just saying. I'm protecting my brother.
Maybe you misconstrued it. I'm being direct.
Maybe. I'm just saying I don't want somebody misconstruing it.
I will Montez. Okay, let me clarify this. I will Montez did not intend to violate anybody. So if you feel violated, please forgive me. That's not my point. My point is what happens in the bedroom, right, between two individuals, or how many individuals, happens in their bedroom. It's nobody else's business. Don't teach any kids about this. And what they're doing with the school system, this is the start of communism. This is a Bernie Sanders plan. That's what this is, right? How far can we push? And they're testing it from California, New York, Illinois, the blue states. That's how they're testing it. And they're going to find out how well they can get away with this. And they're changing the laws. They're changing the Constitution. Hell, they lost an election and they still won it by cheating. Dead serious.
So I want to get very clear. I want to try and translate Will, even though he doesn't think I should. He's not talking about, here's what I think schools should do. Figuring out what your sexual orientation is, or even your sexual identity, should not be pushed by anybody in a school. It should be actually grown organically. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So a person that actually, and don't get me wrong, there's so much acceptance in the world today that coming out as gay or trans is not as detrimental to the person's social status as it used to be a long time ago, right? And there was a time, and I've heard this inside of family function, right, where somebody says, "Hey, I'm gay," and then the grandfather or the grandmother says, "Well, there's some medicine for that. You're going to need some medicine for that." That used to be the stigma, right? Yeah. Right? That used to be it. Today, it's very acceptable, but I don't think that the schools should be saying, "Hey, let's investigate whether you are or not." I think they should just it should be an organic thing. Orientation and or identity should be an organic thing. The person says, "Hey, here's how I feel," not what I'm taught.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Exactly.
I can't disagree with anything that you all have said, because that we're crossing the line in that realm. Why are teachers who are supposed to be teaching them, preparing them for job and society, jobs, skills, why would we be getting into this orientation or identity? That to me, that makes no sense. It makes no sense. But
even like gun protests, like you got to get a cause. You got to get a cause and take your students to this cause and make posters about this cause, and right?
Yeah.
I say keep politics out of the classroom too. Why build that's divisive inside the classroom? They want to bring up controversy. You have to talk about political controversy. Yeah. Maybe in a class called political science, that's where it should be brought up. But in math class, no. In health class, no. In PE, no.
Listen, this is a signature of totalitarian regimes. This is how they keep it going over time.
That's right. They get the institutionalized right there, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is the last thing I'm going to say about this, right? Scott, great job. Good interpretation. Thank you, buddy.
He just saved your ass. You know that.
I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to keep the wolves off your back, baby. All right. That's my topic. Jay's got his topic done. Who's got a topic? Two left.
I got a topic. Maybe it'll help Will come in with what he was going to say. So the Washington Post a few days ago, the title was "Police Chiefs Reckon with Extremists in Their Midst." The revelation that the Capitol Mall covered emblems of extremist groups include off-duty law enforcement officers, possibly assisted by working police escalating pressures on sheriffs and police chiefs nationwide to root out staff with ties to white supremacists and far-right armed groups. Law enforcement leaders have faced criticism in the past for failing to police their own officers' involvement with extremist groups. However, the selfie photos that off-duty officers took inside the Capitol during the violent siege, which left one police officer dead and dozens of others injured, were a wake-up call for many who have long denied that the extent of policing. Well, I'm sorry, let me read that. Were a wake-up call for many who have long denied the extent of problems within policing. And so that kind of brought up a question for me, because when I saw the videos that were played, or, caption of this mob, and you saw a lot of police officers and how they were treating the Capitol Police, and some slurs and things that were said, it took me back to when people were talking about how Blue Lives Matter and support the police and so forth. But yet no one is speaking up against, hey, police not being held to higher standards. So now you have this. Now they're saying with this, we need to police our police better. So my question is what do you all take on how now law enforcement are now having to take a look at their own people in their own ranks and saying, hey, we gotta do better and get you guys off from being associated with these supremacist groups?
Well, I think that's a blown up issue. Now, let me be clear on this before people mob me. Are there white supremacists in police forces somewhere? Yeah, probably. I mean, statistically, it would be almost impossible not to be. Is it a big problem? I highly doubt it. I think this whole thing is so overblown it isn't funny. I think police forces need to constantly police their own people for brutality, for their methodology, for how they're interacting with their constituency. Yeah, we need oversight on police, to be sure. Is there this deep-seated white supremacist movement inside law enforcement? Give me a break.
I'm gonna say this. What you just read, I mean, it was a little painful to hear, Deeves, what you were reading, but painful in the way that you read it. It was like, all right, where's the point? But I think that you're saying that they got to look like now that this insurrection happened and there's this mob on the Capitol, that we got to look at white supremacy. How much of our police officers, what percentage of our police officers are white supremacists? Is that the idea?
Or no, the idea is now all of a sudden we need to take a look at how the police force and their connection to white supremacy.
Okay. Do you think there's? Do you? You brought up the topic. Do you think there's a connection between police officers and white supremacy?
I do.
You do?
I do.
So you think that most police officers are white supremacists?
I wouldn't say most. I think there's a
Give me a percentage that you think might be out there. Like what percentage of all the policemen on the planet or in America are white supremacists?
I mean, that's a hard thing to try to put on a number on it, to quantify that, because I don't
brought it
know
up.
that.
It's your topic. So.
No, right. However, do I believe that there are police officers who are connected to white supremacists, and do I believe that there's racist police officers? Yes, absolutely. And there's absolutely.
Let's put it this way: there's racism in every culture, right? Every culture. Like there's going to be somebody, even class. Like again, I brought it up when I was a peddler. When I was going from door to door, people would look down on me like, "What are you doing? Are you kidding me?" That's a class thing right there. Like, "Oh, you're a peddler." Right. So there's always prejudgment in every societal corner. Right.
Well, that's prejudice, though. Prejudgment is prejudice. We're talking about straight racism.
Okay, well, let me bring up the definition of racism really quick here so that we can actually read it, and I think you'll see. Look, it starts with the word. What do you think? What do you think the first word? What do you think the first word is in racism? The definition.
Prejudgment.
Oh, look at that, prejudice. So you're trying to separate prejudice from racism, and you can't, because prejudice is the first word in racism. Okay. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. So the first word in it is prejudice. Would you agree that every single person on the planet has prejudice?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, right? I mean, we have prejudgments about things, right? So technically, you're never going to get racism out of the culture. It's never going to go away. We have to abolish racism. It won't happen. So, but I'm asking you this. Do you think that there's a percentage of cops out there that is significantly going to Klansmen meetings or militia meetings at night going, all right, they take off one uniform and they put the white one on? Do you think that's happening?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Could be. Right.
And
You're saying, but you're asking me a percentage. You're asking me a percentage. I don't know that percentage. I don't know what that is. But do I believe that that's happening? Yes. I believe that's happening.
Hey, Davey, do you think that's happening as a result of your personal lived experience or something that you read and hear?
Yeah. I mean, I have been.
Give us an idea. Lived experience or reader here?
A lived experience.
Give me a lived experience that you've had that says that cop's going to go put on his clan hood later.
Well, I told you all before when I was 15, how I was in Atlanta and we heard about the Olympics. I'm crossing the street and you have a white cop shove me out of anybody in the crowd, right? And then use terms like boy, tell me, to shut up and all these kind of things. The way he talked to me, the way he handled everything. That was a lived experience. Like, so, what am I supposed, however else I'm supposed to think of that?
Yeah, I don't think that, you know what I think that guy is? I think he grew up bullied, to be honest with you. I think he had a dad that probably beat him. I think he grew up on the wrong side of that intimidation. And finally he gets a chance to do it as a cop with a badge. To be honest with you.
Let me say something. I disagree with you, Scott. I understand what Davey is saying, right? When he was pulled out of that crowd as a 15-year-old, and Davey, you're my age, in the same vicinity, and I grew up in the city of Chicago. They used to pull us over. Okay, which one of you is named Frank Ruiz, right? And that was my driver, and they're guessing. Right? They're just guessing.
Yeah,
there were racist
guessing.
Cops. The way we grew up, racism did exist. Right? And I agree with DV 100% when he was a boy. But here's the one thing, DV. You're taking that experience and you're bringing it into the forefront of 2021. And that's not happening on a regular basis anymore. The police have changed completely. We have Black police officers, City of Chicago, Hispanic police officers. That has not changed. Now, when I was growing up as a boy, also DV as a teenager, we were all white cops pulling us over. If there's three guys in a car, you're getting pulled over. And what they're telling you, they're telling you is going in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, right? But when I hear you all say that racist. It doesn't, like you all act like it doesn't exist no more. The way I mean, we're experiencing. I'm not saying it doesn't exist
no more. Jay summed it up really well. All right.
Nobody here said it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is now it just took this for us to say, we need to start. We need to start policing the police like that. Like we've been screaming that for some time now. Hey, the actions that these police officers are taking, the actions that we've been experiencing and witnessing, especially in the Black community, we've been experiencing this for a long, long time. It's just now society is starting to see this stuff live, and now people are shocked. Oh, I can't believe that this is happening. And then we're saying, hey, no, you all need to be checking your police officers. We're not saying that all police officers are bad. We're just saying the few that are bad is ruining it for the bunch. And so if the police did a better job policing their own, maybe some of this stuff that we're seeing, we wouldn't be experiencing. That's all I'm saying with that topic.
And you're saying that because somebody was a Trump supporter and they were so they were a cop.
I didn't say because they were a Trump supporter. I just said because of the police.
I don't know, no problem. But your whole article was about the mob at the Capitol, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the mob at the Capitol had people that were cops inside. According to the article, there were cops identified, police officers identified in the Trump supporters that maybe rushed the Capitol, right? They maybe been in the Capitol. How many was that? Like it's a minuscule number versus now you want to. And again, I think Jay said it best. He's like, this is overplayed. Right? Like this article is assuming something. And I want to read this. I know we're past the bell and I'm sorry, Will, but I want to read this because this is me on Facebook with somebody from high school, right? and they are completely deranged. The Trump derangement system. Here's what I said. So that the initial post was showing the guy who's the guy in Minnesota that got banned. Who's the guy? The guy that the senator that was groping another soldier or something. Right, Al Franken.
Yeah,
Al Franken. Right. Okay. So he says, okay, and someone needs to explain to me why Al Franken had to resign for a joke photo he took years before as a senator. But elected officials who participated in or encouraged the Capitol riots are allowed to stay in government. Explain it to me like a kindergartner. So I posted this. Right. I'm like, so you're okay with feeling up soldiers in their sleep? Right. That's me. And that's not even the best part. The best part is a guy that I went to high school with who put this in there. So he's got the guy taking the Confederate flag walking through the lobby in the Capitol, right? Remember, you guys all saw that, right?
Yep.
And he goes, so Scott Rowe, you're okay with this? Explains a lot about you, right? And I say this, I'm like, no, I'm not. That's an idiot with a flag. I'm also not comparing or defending like our buddy, right? So I'm like, that's an idiot with a flag. And this is what I want to get to. This is how a lot of people on the left think right now. They are outraged. It's still derangement syndrome. It's liberal derangement syndrome now. I will give you an example. I'll read this to you. That's more than an idiot with a flag. That's one of the many insurrectionists who tried to subvert a pillar of our democracy, overturn the results of the democratically held election. And he is a fellow seditionist, fueled by Trump, members of his families, his attorneys, right-wing propagandists, and members of Congress. I'm like, no, that's just an idiot with a flag. See how they want to make one picture like this is the state of the country. No, it's an idiot with a flag. The dude with the freaking horns on his head and the sheepskins on, that's an idiot, right? The guy who put his feet up in Pelosi's office, hey, another idiot. So there's 3 idiots out of 700 million people right there. Come on. Let's tone down the craziness when it comes to overreacting about this stuff. And to be honest, DV, I think you saying, well, there's white supremacy in the country. There is not, dude. And there's more black cops in Chicago than I guarantee than white cops in the city of Chicago. All right, that's my take.
I'm going to continue down that road.
Okay, and it's your topic. It's
my topic because it's. You hit a nerve, right? Where the interpretation and it's what the people are listening to, right? They take that one guy and they blow him out of proportion. So we all know that the impeachment trial is a sham. It's very unconstitutional.
Sham.
Okay? It's a sham, right? He's out of office, right? The presiding judge is not going to be a Supreme Court justice. Sham. So here's interpretation, and this is why the left is far radical. Okay, and this is from WGN, and I used to love my morning show with WGN, and here's the reporter Robin Baumgarten. I love her, but I got a feeling she doesn't want to lose her job. So I heard her say this, and this is what she's telling the liberal viewers in the liberal cities that are paying attention to her. Chief Justice John Roberts presided over the first impeachment trial. But if the person on trial is not a sitting president, a senator presides. That's completely false. But that's how they script it for her to tell the public that it's okay. And the public doesn't realize that they're violating the Constitution of the United States. And people believe this, and they continue to vote. They never question anything. And this is a great example how they're spreading propaganda to ill-informed individuals. And they get away with it. How much more can they get away with? That's the problem right there. What do you guys think?
And here's the key to that, right? So they're saying, well, now that he's a private citizen, then then Chief Justice doesn't preside over it. I'm like, well, then if he's a private citizen, you can't impeach him. Are you impeaching somebody or not? Because you don't impeach private citizens, right? So like, no, he was a president. That's why we're impeaching him. Great. Then Chief Roberts gets to preside. Right. So you can't have it your way unconstitutionally when, it's like they get their way. That's it. They get their way. They are continuing. Jeff Bezos is getting his way. The Democrats are getting the way. The radical left is getting the way because they're screaming like crazy. Listen, and I don't care what you say. I read that Prager article that you sent, Jay, right?
Yeah.
And science says the party of science, if you're looking at those numbers about how many counties weren't won, the bellwether states that weren't won by Biden, won he got the least amount of counties in any presidential win in history. Trump got the most outside of reelect Reagan. And nobody wants to check on that science? Anybody want to check on those numbers? It's amazing how dumb they think we are.
Well, apparently there's a large segment of the population that doesn't feel compelled to examine that.
The ones that won.
Maybe they're right.
The winners like, yep, good job, refs, a good game. Oh, we won. Look, we won the Super Bowl, even though there's lots of reffing that went bad. Ugh.
Yeah, it's mind-numbing, isn't it?
It's mind-numbing, bro. I mean, not, and here everybody's like, well, all the judges turned it down. The judges turned it down on standing. Not a single judge looked at an affidavit. They didn't look at any numbers. They didn't check any systems. They did not check the adjudication that were being done inside the Dominion systems at certain polling places. None of that. They didn't look at the cardboard on the windows. They did not check the videos of the people pulling out ballots. None of that was checked. None of that evidence actually ever checked out by a judge because, your standing's wrong, so we can't even take the case.
But that is not what's being reported. And just for the record, I believe there was one case where some evidence was heard, but by and large, there's a ton of evidence out there that has not been heard. That's what was turned away. These cases weren't lost. They weren't heard.
And they think we're an idiot. I'm screaming about that. They're like, shut up. It didn't take I heard Paul Podopoulos ask, what's his face? Ron Paul, right?
Yeah, that was a good interview.
Did you watch
that interview?
Did you watch that? He goes, all right, so let's get it. Here's his first question. Here's a threshold question. Do you believe the election was stolen? That was his first question to the Republican. To the Democrat was a softball question like, now that the party is going to, should we unify against Joe Biden? And she couldn't talk. Her sound went out. So he went right after Rand. Okay, Rand, threshold question first. Do you believe the election was stolen?
No, the most appalling part of that interview was when Stephanopoulos said, we don't have to show two sides of this issue because it's a fact that it wasn't stolen.
Right.
I thought my head was going to explode.
It was unbelievable. They think we're idiots.
And just listen, I know we're running late on time. I just want to go on record here. Everybody knows, I've said this here, I believe this election was stolen. That's my belief.
I believe it.
I could set that aside and simply ask, let's just examine the evidence. And if it's examined and somebody and a legitimate examiner comes to the conclusion that no, it wasn't stolen, the result was correct, I'll shut up. But let's examine it.
Right. And I've even said that too. I said that too. If it can be examined by and if people look through it, I'm all for it. Hey, if it was corrupt, we got to fix it. So yeah.
But they had to examine it before he took office, and they didn't want to. They weren't transparent whatsoever.
No,
to examine it now, it could be altered. And right now, it's useless.
And the amazing thing about it was, remember Kavanaugh got confirmed. They wanted like a 2-month-long FBI investigation, right, to examine stuff before.
Well, what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. That's how they do it.
That's Democrats. Welcome to thank you, DV.
Well, but I've never said I was a Democrat or a Republican.
Because you don't want to be pinned.
No.
That's okay.
See, there you go.
All right, let's get into one of my favorite parts of the show, Speed Round. Coming straight out of the black community today. I think DV's got his 10 questions. You got 10 questions for us, DV?
I got 10 questions, man. Got 10.
We only got about 40 seconds per question, guys. So we got to go Speed D.
All right, I hope these are good. I'm ready. All right. Number one, best brand sneaker shoe, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, or Under Armour? For me, Nike.
I'm an Adidas guy because I was a wrestler.
Converse.
Good one, Jay.
I used to like Nike, no longer. Under Armour.
Under Armour, yeah.
All right.
Come around, okay. What's your preferred way to travel on vacation and why? For me, cruising.
Cruising? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean by driving?
Take a cruise. Like I like taking a cruise ship
on a
for
boat.
vacation.
You got a boat.
Yeah.
I like loading up the car and driving. There's nothing like getting out in the countryside, taking in the scenery, going at your own pace, stop when you want, go when you want, bring as much as you want.
I agree with Jay. Get in the car, let's go, see scenery, beautiful sights, especially on the motorcycle. That's awesome.
I've never been on a cruise ship in my life, so I can't even say anything about that. It depends on where I'm going. If I'm going somewhere far, I got to get on a plane because I want to be there. And if I'm going somewhere local, I don't mind driving or riding a motorcycle. I love riding a motorcycle. I love seeing the landscape.
Number 3, who was the greatest baseball player of the 21st century? I'm going to go with Hank Aaron. He just recently passed and stuff, but, he played for the Braves. So I'm going to go with Hank Aaron.
I got to say Barry Bonds. And before the medication, the steroids, right? He was great. He was an all-around player. He's not the home run king, but other than that, he was very valuable.
I'm going to go with Mr. Hustle, Pete Rose.
Oh, there he goes. Controversial.
All right. Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to go with, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go Jeter. Man, that guy was a captain from start to finish in the Yankee organization. Never let his squeaky clean, right? Jeter.
Okay. Number 4. Did you have a curfew growing up? What time was yours? A curfew. You had to be in the house.
I had a curfew. When the lights came on, we'd have to get in, right? And then when mom and dad went to bed, I went back out. So,
yeah, as young kids, when it got dark, we had to come in.
When it got dark, we had to come in, but I had an alarm. My mom, I'm very loud. When she would scream down the block, mom. Okay, no problem. Gotta go.
Scott, sound like you were a black neighborhood. I mean, black household. Because when the street lights came on, you had to be in the house. That's what it was for me. Street lights gone, you in the house. All right. What parent quote or saying echoes in your head till today?
Bring me the belt.
Because I said so. I'm the guy that wanted to know. I'm like, why? I would be a why. Yeah. I was the why kid. Why? Why do I got to do that? Yeah. Why? And she just got, my mom just couldn't handle it. She was like, because I said so, I am the parent.
Yeah. My mom would say, hey, I brought you in this world. I'll take you out.
Will?
Tráeme el cordón. That means go get the whoop.
She made you get your own weapon, right?
Go get my whoop. Right.
If you could have any antique car ever made, what would it be in year?
Antique car.
39 Cadillac.
Dude. I'd get a Duesenberg.
Oh.
I don't know what year. I don't even know the year, but I know I can see it in my brain, and there's only 2 on the planet ever made.
It's my own question. I don't even know it. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, that a boy. That says a lot.
I got to pick my first car, 1968 Camaro, right?
That was your first car?
No, not Camaro. Cutlass Supreme. Cutlass Supreme.
Okay.
Right. I was thinking Camaro. Right.
And you're like, that's the one I want forever.
Yeah. I should have said deuce and a quarter. All right. Number 7. If you were not a real estate investor today, what career field or job would you be in?
I'd be selling something.
And hate it? Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I'm not I'm not as good a salesman, even though I've been in sales forever. I'm not as good a salesman as I am a coach, right? So, running a team of sales, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be running teams of sales guys for sure.
I'll probably be a basketball coach at a high school or something.
You think that? You think Sean Lilly? Please weigh in, and if he was that good that he could pull off being a coach. Come on, Sean.
All right, weigh in on that, Sean. All right,
Will, pretty good.
A football coach.
Football coach.
You would be a football coach, bro.
Because I'm good at coaching.
You played flag football. That's all. That's about professionalism. The flag football is his. Oh man!
But on the sidelines, I was the guy playing chess right there. That's how I looked at it.
Let's just say Will is loud enough to be a coach. There we go. We'll go with that.
Good.
All right.
Willie,
of the top.
That's probably why you're retired right there. Graham.
Number 8, of the top 3 richest people in the world you could spend time with, who would it be and why? Elon Musk for me. Elon Musk, he's with the whole Tesla thing. I think is genius.
I would spend time with Bezos, and I'll tell him, why do you hate Trump so much?
You go to dinner. Give me why you hate Trump so much, right? I'm gonna go Steve Jobs, man. If I could go back in time and hang out with Steve Jobs,
that's a good pick.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, he doesn't fall into the top 3, but
He's dead.
I'd want to spend some time with Sam Zell. I'd want to pick his brain on real estate investing.
I'd be Steve Jobs all the way. In fact, if you guys watch the movie with Michael Fassbender and Steve Jobs movie, one of my top 5 faves.
All right. Yeah, he's not in that category now, though. He's dead. Okay. What food were you forced to eat as a kid that you still do not like today?
This is so easy for me. Every now and then, my mother would make salami and eggs, and I could not get it down. To this day, the smell of it makes me sick.
A salami and egg sandwich is awesome.
I couldn't stomach it. I'd shovel it into my lap, into the napkin, and then excuse myself and throw it away. She knew what I was doing.
Black eyed peas for me. Ugh. Black eyed peas. Hate them.
Willie?
I
wasn't forced to eat. So my mom's great cook.
Liver. For me, it was liver. Even though my mom, she figured out that we didn't like it early on, but we had to try it every single year just to see if we could make her pass our. I gagged on it, dude. It was so bad. So.
All right. And number 10, if you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Well, I already am a superhero named Scooty, so.
If you could be
Puerto Rican Panther.
There's no Puerto Rican Panther.
Puerto Rican Panther.
Puerto Rican Panther.
As opposed to Black Panther, right?
Is that like
well, that's my answer.
Is that like a pimp on the corner there, bro? He got the big feather in his cap. What's a Puerto Rican Panther?
DB got it. You didn't get it, dude.
Yeah, you didn't get it. You
didn't get it.
Well, I'm not big into superheroes, but I guess I'd have to go with Superman. He's got a lot of really good powers. I think I'd be okay with that.
Definitely be my second choice.
I'm a Batman kind of guy because he's a normal guy and he used equipment. He used technology to make him super.
Y'all seen the movie with Batman in it with the Flash when it was the Justice League and the guy Flash asked him, "Hey, what's your superpower?" He says, "I'm rich." That's Batman.
Yeah, that was the best line in the whole movie because it was a terrible movie.
That's the top 10.
Ding ding ding. The black man's top 10, the black top 10 finished. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today. Listen, if you guys want to check us out or hit the mailbag, go to bigdivideshow.com, leave some comments. You can go to the Big Divide on Facebook and do it there. I appreciate everybody on the line here today. Dave, thanks for hanging out. Willie, thanks for hanging out. Jay, again, this show is designed to bring people together from different cultures. I think we did a good job. What do you guys think?
4 brothers from other mothers.
Brothers from other mothers.
Love it.
Any parting shots?
TheBigDivideShow.com.
BigDivideShow.com.
My usual. Let's see some peace in the world.
The Puerto Rican Panther. I love it.
Puerto Rican Panther.
It came through my mind, right?
All right. See you guys later. See you next week, baby.
This has been The Big Divide. Don't forget to subscribe for your weekly dose of unfiltered and unapologetic conversation.
Done and done.
And of course, share this episode with all of your friends. Well, maybe not the sensitive ones.
You apologize right now.
Do you have a question, topic, or opinion that you want to hear discussed? Go to BigDivideShow.com and tell us all about it.
Or simply look up Big Divide on Instagram or Facebook and send us a message.